We are on Mabuhay. This is Bob from Love Beyond the Sea. I'm going to do another live stream tonight. I just did one yesterday, and kind of recovering from that. It was a 4 hour and 10-minute live stream. I started at 7 o'clock. Still kind of looking at the best way to do live streams to reach people, and so I've been kind of starting it later and later in the day, which is easier to do when you're not working and my wife isn't going to be home for another 3 hours or so. So this is a good time to start. Yesterday went really well, ended up with a lot of comments, which I hope to see every time. Love Beyond the Sea is a channel about the foreigner and the Filipina, mostly just the ins and outs and details of looking for a wife overseas. Many have done that. Many continue to do that. Now that the COVID restrictions are lifted, I think people will continue to look for a wife in another country. And what I try to do is not focus on all the details of our life as much as try to help people understand what it's like and what they would have to know if they were looking for a Filipina. Yesterday was kind of got my whole day out of kilter. I was up over 4 hours with the live stream. Then I had comments to look at from TikTok, and I had to go to bed early, get up for a doctor appointment. Didn't really sleep. My wife was studying for her final exam in a different room because I can't sleep if she's going to be studying in bed. And I finally got her downstairs to go back in bed about 5:30. I guess she just gone to bed around 5. Got an hour to sleep with her, and then I had to go for an appointment. And it's kind of been all downhill from there as far as energy goes, taking a couple naps, and I decided let's do another live stream tonight. So I think we won't do more than one a week if I can continue to do live streams and pump out videos and talk to people on direct messaging, mostly on TikTok, and respond to comments and some emails and some phone calls, even some video chats, even. So I'm keeping busy, which is good. I do know that men are still looking for women abroad, not just the Philippines. Yes, it's a little bit difficult right now in America still, like it was for me back in 2015 when I thought, after some, well, not encouragement, but my pastor sent me an email of a guy that met a Filipina in the Philippines. He said, make what you want of it. I'm not saying you have to do this or recommending it or endorsing it. And I looked at it and I thought, you know what? Why not? I've always liked Filipinas. And so I joined Christian Filipina. You can see that link. That's the first link on top of the chat. Top chat is what they call it. And that takes you to Christian Filipina. You can look around, see what that's like. I can tell you what it's like. I found my wife there 7.5 years ago. Excellent customer service back then. I don't know why that would have changed. Prices are probably a little different. I met 4 or 5 women there in the first 5 days. Then I met my wife. She wanted somebody to focus on her, so we did. Focused on each other. And I proposed on day 18. We got married in 54 days. And I've had this channel for over 4 years and 10 months perhaps. And so we seem to be picking up steam very slowly, but surely. And TikTok is doing better. I'm on other places like Rumble. If you're a Rumble guy, the videos are on there. You know, Facebook and Twitter, BitChute. What else? Odyssey. So trying to get the brand out there. Love Beyond the Sea. There's also a resource link below that one on top for Filipino visa. That's for help with obtaining a fiance or spousal visa. And for some of you, that would include children that come over also. And then there's a book, 547-page resource, I call it, more than a book, meant to be a match made in heaven. This is all information with a table of contents in the front, which explains page numbers and chapter headings, so you get some idea of what those articles are about, and that would save you some time. It's available. It's only like, I don't know, $5.50 or something. I haven't checked lately, but it's available there, and that link is right there also. And then there's place for comments. So tonight, and I don't have any time limit, but man, that really took a lot out of me last night. But as soon as I get my energy back with some water and coffee, I guess we'll be able to go for a while. Man, does that taste good. So the things I wanted to talk about tonight, I'm calling this one Filipinas Changing and Buying a Filipina Wife, because during the week I talked about things related to this, Filipinas coming over to a Western country and not being the same person necessarily that you were dating. Some change, I think, is inevitable. It could be good, it could be bad. So if any of you guys out there, or even Filipinas, you see at Filipinas on live streams, can chime in with your thoughts on changes that you saw in your Filipina after you brought her to the United States or wherever you live. What changes were good? What changes were bad? Also going to talk about, my turtle must be getting up on her rock. She's making some noise over there in the tank. But I think her light's going to go out soon, so she gets up there on that perch so she can be there under the light when it turns on in the morning. Eyes about the turtle forest. She's never had a pet before, so now we have a pet. I also want to tell you about handling money requests from the Filipina in your life when she gets there to be with you. And the comment I hear once in a while about me buying a Filipina wife. That's right, that I bought a Filipina wife. Well, I don't think I bought my wife, and I will explain that why. I did announce this video a couple hours ahead of time, and I don't know if I have to do that 4 hours ahead of time next time, but all that stuff does take up extra time, and live streams do take up more time. But it's a good way to connect with people if people are willing to watch and ask questions. So I've got my list of things to talk about. I prefer that people would actually be here, though, so they can hear what I'm saying and have a chance to respond to it. So before I begin, again, Love Beyond the Sea is a biblical pro-marriage channel. I'm not just about dating a Filipina from a long distance. I'm more about the bottom line, which is getting married and finding love beyond the sea. So it's 8:11. I'm hoping to give people enough time to come home from work and eat dinner. In the Philippines, which is the second largest place, it looks like from analytics that people watch my videos, it's about 10 in the morning. Most views are from America. So 8:11, I think still could be a good time. Maybe it won't be. And maybe I'll have to start these live streams at 6 o'clock. But here we go. I want to start talking here about Filipinas and their change when they come to your country. Please interject anytime with a comment about anything related to foreigner Filipino relationship, dating, marriage, online things. This is kind of after a relationship has been formed and you bring her to your country for a while, people have concerns that their wife will change. Some people's concern is so great that they don't even want to bring a woman over here because, well, they will end up being tarnished and they won't be the same person that they married, that they got to know. And someone makes the comment once in a while that, speaking about the Filipinas, once they leave their country, they are never the same. So some people say, once they leave the country, never the same. So please leave your comments about that. I've got several topics, but please interject your own thoughts here. Again, last night we were here for 4 hours and 10 minutes. Only stopped because my wife got home from work. So we can always keep talking, but it's really not up to me. I do need feedback from the viewer, and once in a while we get pop-ups, and I would love to talk to them about foreigners in Filipinas. But right now we have to, first things first, do the live stream. So character is an issue here with getting a Filipina. Now, as someone pointed out to me on the TikTok video, if they have good character, when you marry them, when you get to know them in the Philippines, the likelihood is that they're not going to see any drastic change if they come over here to America, like my wife did. Do you agree with that? And if that's true, then a lot of your discernment would have to be about her character. Now, I had done recent videos on the type of Filipina that you can bring to America. You might want to look back on YouTube or TikTok. It's the same video about, because many couples do work out just fine. I think when people make poor choices initially, those are the ones where they will say, "Yeah, my wife got here, thought everything was going to be great. As soon as she got a green card, she was gone. As soon as she got citizenship, she was gone." And I'd like to hear less of that and more that they made a good choice and that Filipina is still with them. Character does matter. If she is more on the conservative side, then I think she is likely to work out just fine moving to America. If she has good quality conservative family and friends, I think it's more likely that she will work out and be just fine here in America. Now, that the family and friends are people you can visit, and hopefully you want to do that when you go to the Philippines. I know people that have gone in the last month or two, and people told me they're going in the next month or two, especially people that were against getting vaccinated, but now they don't have to be vaccinated to go to the Philippines. I would look for a conservative woman, and a woman who loves children. A lot of times anymore, women don't seem to be as interested in children. I think that's a bad sign. If she's content to stay in the Philippines, she likes it there, she's content to stay there, then chances are, she's not dying to get away from the Philippines to go to another country, just for a better life. And maybe she doesn't know what she wants. I would say if she's content with the lifestyle in the Philippines, she probably has the right stuff to be able to be content in a place like America. Having said that, some places in America are more conservative than others. Also, if she's a little bit older, figured some things out in her life, she's been working, she has to share that money, she's more mature, gone to college, I think these type of Filipinos are not as likely to change. There'll be some change. My wife here is working like she said she would, so that part hasn't changed. She still loves children. That part hasn't changed. She's a hard worker. She likes to learn. That hasn't changed. That's why she's in school now. I think she took her final exam of the semester last night, which is late this morning. in her time over here, um, biotechnology degree, and she's been studying math and molecular biology. And it wearies me just thinking about it. So I give her all the time she needs for that. And you want to know her well enough that there are no surprises when she does get to you. Now, we got married, like I said earlier, in only 54 days. So, there's going to be a little more surprises with our marriage than some others. But I was very anxious to get married. Oh, that is delicious. And we got married in 54 days. I just wanted to know the basics of her. Her character was important to me. To me, excuse me. Um, she went to church. I wanted somebody to go to church with me over here. Um, I wanted a hard worker. I wasn't looking for that, but she said she was a hard worker, and that's good, and she is. She's been earning her own money, and no big surprises for us. One thing I mentioned was, usually Filipinos pick up some bad language when they get over here, and I don't know that they swear a lot in the Philippines. Maybe they have their own words, but once they come to America, for example, if they watch TV or they go out in the workforce or anywhere, you hear bad language all the time. So that's something that will affect her. She might be picked up on. She might pick up on. You don't want her to become westernized or Americanized. And I've got a video on that, 29 ways to prevent your Filipina from becoming Americanized. You might want to check out. As far as handling requests for money, I wish there was a Filipina here that would tell me how they handle it when family asks for money. That's something you're going to have to get used to when you bring a woman over. And always a popular topic for conversation. You can't draw a hard line and put your foot down and say no money ever, because then she's probably going to leave you. She's going there so she can work, be in a better situation to help her family. So that's what you should allow her to do. Sometimes people, what they do, here's some options as far as money goes. I really wish people were here tonight, because it's really no fun talking to yourself. But I know people have popped in for a few seconds and then popped out. So it's not as fun when people aren't there. Just tell you that. But the show must go on. I can always delete this later, depending how it goes. Usually it goes very slowly until it gets going. But you could limit money to just the parents, mama and papa. That's it. That's one option. Sometimes people limit it to parents plus small children, nieces and nephews, birthdays and clothes, special occasions. Sometimes just the small children. Sometimes they just limit the money to birthday situations and to maybe holiday situations, and health reasons. If there's some big health problems, then you will help with that. Otherwise, emergencies, money is given for that, and those are the big ones. My wife works, so a lot of our money has been going on building projects, which I will talk about in just a little bit. So I was hoping people would be here and we could talk about how they handle these requests for money, because it can be contentious and you don't want it to be. For example, if you had to just stop and say no more, when would that be? I've heard of more than one couple say that if they have their own child, then they call off the giving and just say, look, we've got our own life to be responsible for. We cannot help you any longer. And the third thing that I wanted to talk about today, while other people were gathering, which has not happened yet, is the thought of buying a Filipino wife. I have a video I made recently called I Bought My Filipino Wife. I just released it on TikTok today. Now, people say that, oh, you just bought your wife. You went on a dating site, which happened to be Christian Filipina, which is not a mail order bride place, because mail order brides don't exist today. In fact, in the workplace, if you use that terminology about someone, you will be meeting with HR. Don't ask me how I know. The Filipino wife um, does have a choice of marrying a foreigner or not. I think her parents have a say in this too. Also, no dowry was given to my wife. I didn't have to purchase her with a dowry like in old times when that might be part of the deal. She didn't ask for any money. She said, she would marry me, and she wanted to work, and we'd start our life together and forget our pasts and move forward with each other, which we have. So as far as this house, people say, "Well, you bought her a house. That's why she's interested in you." Well, here's what happened. We met online. I think on day 5 of my Christian Filipina experience, I met her. Proposed on day 18, married on day 54. Met her in the Philippines. We got married. 8 months later, she comes to the United States. Then 2.5, 3 years after that, when we've been married 3 years or more, we started to talk about maybe moving to the Philippines. So we decided to buy a house, and now we're still at this point not planning on moving to the Philippines. And that's all health related, and how the Philippines catches up on different types of health care. But we still could. But right now we don't have plans to do that. But we did build that house, and with the knowledge we would only be there when we were on vacation, which is maybe once every year or two. And we just got back this year. We stayed in the house. I think I've stayed there 2 or 3 times now, and really proud of my wife for designing that house. We split that one pretty much 50-50, and my wife has other building projects that she has mostly funded, a couple of them. And maybe the Philippines is part of our future. I don't know. But we have made some investments in there. But it wasn't made as a promise, that if you marry me, I'll do this for you or buy a house or anything like that. This was after several years of being married to her, actually. So no, you don't buy a wife, and even if you could buy a Filipina, even if you had millions of dollars, that would not guarantee any kind of success at all, because it's much more complicated than that. And I like to go into those kind of details here on Love Beyond the Sea about what would help make for a good marriage with a woman from the Philippines. So, because I'm a busy person and I enjoy spending time with people to help them with this, if there's nobody here yet tonight, I think we need to cut this one short. I was hoping for more time, and I guess that's just how it's going to go. I will decide whether I even want to put this up or not, and you may never see this, but that's going to be all tonight here on Love Beyond the Sea.